I'm quite new to the comedy thing. This is only my third ever gig. That's like, oh, people do that every time you say something like that. It's like, oh, that's not nice. Good. Anyway, and for me, it's quite a scary thing to do. Now, would you agree that's quite a rational fear? Yeah? Rational fear, alright. The reason I bring this up is because recently in my life, I've had a lot of things that I've seen that are rational, I believe, in their fear. Alright, I saw this woman the other day on TV talking about how she was scared of bananas, which I thought was fucking strange. So I carried on watching. The reason she was scared of bananas is because she had gone into Asda with her kids. She was pushing the trolley, slipped over a banana skin and got a concussion. And ever since then, she hasn't been able to get in a room with a banana. It's not their fucking fault. They just line up on the aisle and go, right guys, 1, 2, 3. Bananas. And it got me thinking, right, how do certain fears come about? And if they do come about, can they come about through ridiculous, means? And so I was looking at a list of fears on the internet. And first of all, I'd love to meet a gelotophobic comedian. That's someone that has a fear of being laughed at. Yeah, you got it, I like that. The other thing is, right, I saw on there something called decidophobia. Anyone hazard a guess of what that is? Fear of making decisions, that's right, alright? Can you imagine serving that guy downstairs? Sorry mate, was that a single or a double? Ah! I don't know! Anyway, imagine also being decidophobia and being proposed to. I'll let you run that through in your head. But no, by all accounts, the one that I found that made me absolutely cry with laughter, right? Genuine fear, antidiophobia, which is fear that somewhere, somehow, a duck is watching you. I'm not even going to think about where the fuck that one came from. Anyhow, apart from the comedy, the only other fear I've got is my flatmate when he's really pissed. And it's not because he's violent, right? It's because he does really stupid things. He came in the other night after a night in Tiger, and he wanted some food. Fair enough, that often happens after a night out. So he went into the fridge, got out bangers and mash. He then decided to preheat the microwave for 20 minutes. Thought he needed to do that. Now that's not going to kill anyone, right? But that was fairly fucking dull. He then took the bangers and mash, and in looking at the back of it, he's like, right, microwave setting, 5 minutes, oven setting, 30. He puts it in the microwave for 30 minutes. He came back, the bangers and mash looked a bit like morph. We needed a new microwave. This was alright, but the next day, we had replaced the microwave, and honestly, the same night, Ollie comes back in, absolutely off his tits. I want a chicken. Fair enough. He gets the chicken out of the fridge, wraps it in silver foil, and puts it in the microwave. Now, how many of you here have put foil in a microwave before? You fucking have. It just explodes, basically. We needed another microwave. Now, again, we thought this would be fine, but we got a letter around from the caretaker the next morning saying, in the event of a fire in your accommodation, please can you concentrate on putting it out and not take photos for Facebook. Ollie had been sat genuinely by the microwave going... What an idiot. You also got to feel sorry for the food in microwaves, to be honest. Like, when you pierce it and it, explodes. It's not exploding, it's being sick. If you put anything on something for 20 minutes going... it's gonna fucking throw up. And anyway, speaking of food, right, I need to go and do some food shopping, but I have one fear of food shopping, which is when you get to the end of your checkout, do you find, the women, they scan shit so fast, and by the time you get to paying, especially if you're paying on a card, that's a nightmare, because you've got to do the PIN and pack at the same time. And so I always overpack one bag a little bit too much. That's an R right there. And I get home, alright, and within about 10 feet of where I live, the bag will just break. Now this would be fine if when the bag broke, everything just went onto the floor. But everything goes in a different fucking direction. The soup's like, whoa! if you're near a staircase, right, the pasta's just like, I don't even have legs, but I'm off just like every fucking stair there is. I'll tell you what though, I feel really sorry for the Weetabix that just goes, this is mighty frustrating. Anyway, I'm a fresher. All of you freshers. Yeah. Every single person, fair enough. I enjoyed Freshers Week. There was one thing about Freshers Week I didn't enjoy though, and that was Freshers Flu. Do you all get it? Yeah. Fucking nightmare, isn't it? When I got Freshers Flu, the thing I didn't like about it wasn't the fact that I had a sore throat, it was that I was listening to people around me. Right, men turn into women, women turn into men. Have you noticed this? Seriously, when a man gets a sore throat, it's all like, hello. When a woman gets a sore, especially Scottish women, any Scottish people know when a Scottish woman gets a sore throat, it sounds like Billy Connolly. You're right! I fucking hate sore throats! Anyway, also the other thing I do when I have a sore throat, which is quite embarrassing, is I wake up in the morning and I talk to myself to make sure I don't sound like a dick. Do you do that? I wouldn't do this on a regular, I would just be like, morning Charlie! But on that day I would be like, hello. Fuck's sake. I wouldn't say it like that because I have a sore throat. But what you all seen the DVLA advert, right? The one that with the little girl. If you hit me at 30, there's an 80% chance that I'll live. If you hit me at 40, 40. There's an 80% chance that I'll die. Have you seen that? Yeah. All right. Well, I found out the other day that when men ejaculate, it comes out at 30 miles an hour. Begging the question: should we get DVLA to make the advert? Ironically, that's actually probably how a lot of freshers got their freshers through. Anyway, I do philosophy. Anyway, and in philosophy, one of the things you do a lot is you debate about whether things are like ethical or moral, if you will. And so we had a talk about this the other day, and this woman who was giving the lecture was like, so, is there ever a circumstance where a Christian could say that rape is ethical? So everyone was thinking about this girl who's very smart about the class hand. She's like, well, yes. What about if someone was raped? Then abortion would be alright, you know? That's fairly ethical, isn't it? And so everyone's thinking, yeah, fair enough. So the woman's like, well, I want to take this a little bit further. What would a Christian say if they were raped? At which point this guy from the back of the class put his hand and went, he got kicked out. And I was thinking about this earlier on the train and I nearly shat myself. But the other thing I was thinking about, I feel really sorry for this old lady I was sitting next to. She just had me laughing the whole way. And the thing I'm going to end on, ladies and gentlemen, is the thing that made me really, really laugh at that point. On my year out, I got invited to go on a skiing trip with my sister and her friends. I thought, fair it's my fucking sister! Anyway, so I thought, I'm going to go. So, you know, we've been there for about 5 or 6 days. It was a really, really nice place. And I got on the ski lift one morning, and I was going up, and I really needed a shit. Now that's fair enough, that happens, right? But because we were closer to the chalet than the loos at the top, I said to the lady we were staying with, would you mind if I took a key, went to the loo at the chalet, and then I'll meet you guys up for lunch? She was like, no, that's absolutely fine. So I was like, okay, fair enough. So I got the key, I went down to the chalet. Now, I don't know if you've ever needed a shit when you're skiing. This is an awful fucking position. I bombed it down to the chalet. I got there. By the time I got there, thanks to this position, I literally could do nothing but go to the loo. So I ran straight through the door and went into the first door I could find, which was the parents' room. Now I know what you're thinking, this is fine. There's plenty of time over lunch for the smell ticker. So I thought I'll leave it and it'll be fine. So I did the deed, went to flush. Flush once, nothing. Flush twice, nothing. After about 15 flushes, I just came to the conclusion that I'm fucked. Now, I looked on my phone and I saw that I had the housekeeper's number in my phone, so I thought I'm going to give her a ring. I called her up, it was her day off. Now, she doesn't speak a word of English, I don't speak a word of French. That in itself was a bit of an issue, so I was just like, problem in the house, problem? I heard her scream and put the phone down, I was like, oh my god. She then, you know, what happened then, I actually couldn't have prepared myself for. She turned up, I heard the doorbell ring, I went over to the door. She was there with her 3 kids. Literally, it was like the evolution of man. It was like 3-year-old, 6-year-old, 9-year-old, 9. By the time they were all in the house, I was like, fucking hell, this is going to be horrendously embarrassing, but I've got no options. So I took them to the loo. I said the only French word I know. Regardez. Regardez. I flushed it. Went down first time. I brought them there to show them my magnificent shit. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's me. Thank you very much.